Morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. It's quite early for the bulletin today, but that's fine. We'll get the bulletin out the way, and we're going to focus on testing. And we had some stuff go on overnight, which is quite interesting. So we had an NU sell, New Zealand dollar USD sell, which might be okay. We could be a little bit risk off, a bit choppy perhaps on the indices. But we'll talk about the indices after gold. So what's happened with gold is that they went long, so we created a box, okay, and they sold it here, so we can create a support box, and we can just map it here. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Maybe here, about there-ish. So we had to dip there, but that's fine. And then they're selling it again, so we're going to create a box on top of a box, so it'll be a double support. Now this will be a resistance, as you can probably imagine. It's probably like an order block there, around right here. So there's going to be a technical resistance. We've got a sentimental resistance, in so much so it went long. So there had to be someone to counter that trade, and so price fell because of that. So this is going to be a sentimental resistance. This is possibly going to be a technical resistance. Be an order block here and one here as well. So we're going to struggle around back here. But we have made 2 buys in succession, right? So look for a long with a stop at 2019 and probably target around about here maybe. But as long as you know where your stop is and it's based on that logic. So this is going to be a sentimental support at 2019, right? So it's fairly easy. Keep your stops quite tight and then you should be okay. Now I'll show you what I mean with the indices. We're quite sideways. And ad signals might do okay potentially. We're sideways. There isn't really much to be said there. Obviously, a big resistance here, nice supports. So we're probably going to struggle until we get some more clarity from the CPI, perhaps. But just sideways on DAX, and likewise S&P. Yeah, to sideways. We can see the reaction there. There's no direction, so therefore no direction here. We're just zigzagging and chopping. Technically, we might be okay. We had like a break, and you could probably argue we had a channel break here potentially. It's not the greatest diagonal. It's just really quickly drawn. I need to delete these boxes and those lines and things, but just sideways. So maybe more clarity at the London Open, and definitely more clarity by tomorrow for the CPI data and US 30. And hopefully you can't hear the traffic as well, because I've got my window open, and so hopefully you can't hear the cars go by. See, they're going long, which we could probably fall because of that. So we'll be creating a resistance zone here. This is a resistance zone, so this is where you could have your stop. There's someone jogging outside. You might be able to hear that, I'm not sure. But this is a resistance zone, so we're probably going to fall to supports. Okay, we've got a big old resistance here, which coincides with that one, and likewise, we've got like a triple resistance in US 30. So we could probably fall a little bit. So be careful, risk off, risk on, because your currency pairs, because they're going to be sensitive to risk on, risk off flows. And it looks like perhaps our signals are going to do quite well. We got some pound Kiwi from yesterday. They were up quite nicely, and also we got some cross yen longs as well. So ideally we can be risk on and it'll be okay, and we can be risk off and it'll be okay, because we're sort of hedged in a way. But I'll be updating everyone on Friday with the success of the signals. Remember, this week was really supposed to be setting up for the testing for next week, but it's just a good idea to get like a preliminary testing underway for the test, right? So it's like we do it in phases. And if you want to join, then patreon.com/QuashiDB. And if you're already a member and you want to subscribe to the signals, just let me know and I'll send you some installation instructions. And it's really simple. So bit sideways on risk, and we might be risk off on the US 30, and we might just be a bit choppy on US 500 and DAX. So trade safely. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.